All right, we are live on this day after the election, November 6th, 2024, and I am the Salty Boomer. And what we do here is scroll X and Citizen Free Press and see what's going on in the news and discuss it as it's happening. And for YouTube, a reminder, everything I say on this channel is pure satire. Nothing I say is true, and you shouldn't believe anything I say because I'm a known liar. These are the ravings of a lunatic. And with that said, Trump won the election, and we have a new president. Right now, it is 294 to 223 with 3 states remaining. Looks like Maine will probably go to Kamala, so she'll get 227. And of course, Arizona, which 11 electoral votes, and Nevada, with 6. So Trump will get another 17. That'll put him at 311 to 227. And exactly what I thought was hoping would happen did happen. In that Arizona, who is still only have 65% of their votes counted, is irrelevant. Trump flipped Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, making Arizona completely irrelevant. So they can do all the shenanigans they want to. It doesn't matter. The only thing they're doing now is making sure Kerry Lake is not the senator. All right, so that's kind of what's going on as far as the election. A lot of crying going on. Let's take a look at some of it. Matter of fact, before we get to that, let's go ahead and look at this. And this was a post from Colin Rugg. And he says, can we talk about now how Biden got 81 million votes in 2020, the most secure election in history? Yeah, because in 2004, John Kerry got 59 million votes. These are Democrats. 2008, Barack Obama got 69 million votes. 2012, Barack Obama got 66 million votes. 2016, Hillary Clinton got 66 million votes, same as Barack. 2020, out of nowhere, Joe Biden didn't even campaign. He stayed in his basement the entire time. 81 million votes out of nowhere. 2024, Kamala Harris. Right back to the 67 million votes that they got in 16, 12, and 08. So if that doesn't show you how they cheated in 2020, I don't know what will. Here's Democrat votes in 2012, 2016, 2020, and then 2024. So clear as day, this is what they did in 2020. 15 million more votes. How is that possible? Did those 15 million people that Joe Biden got the votes just stay home? Is that possible? I don't think so. These numbers don't lie. 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2024 are all right in the 67 million range, except for 2020. Isn't that something? 81 million votes out of nowhere for Joe Biden. Who knew that Potato Head Biden was that popular? That's amazing. All right, let's see what else we can find. What was going on Twitter earlier. The leftists are having a complete mental breakdown. And let's watch some of these because, yikes. This is what I talk about with leftists. They're out of their mind. You're not going to see, when Biden won in 2020, you didn't see people going on TikTok and screaming at the moon and yelling at clouds. We just dealt with it. And now it's 2024 and Trump has won. And we're going to listen to these people just lose their minds. Here we go.
How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Senate race. It's not going to happen. Go Kamala.
I chose family. I chose women.
Oh my God, look at this guy. Are you kidding me, dude? How could you possibly do this and film?
Love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But you don't understand how scared I'm.
And another one was the ladies on The View this morning. One of them, Sunny Hostin, was saying how she doesn't have rights anymore. I would love to ask each one of these crazy women, what rights do you not have anymore that you used to have?
This man I am.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as.
These people are so brainwashed from CNN and MSNBC, they actually don't know that they've been lied to. It's unbelievable.
As a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it.
No
Let
problem.
it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
That is never gets old, and those are all over the place. Yeah, let's check out one more here while we're looking at what was on Twitter this morning. X, not Twitter. Yeah, Trump got 72 million votes and she got 67 million. Okay, here's a list of people that will be leaving the country because of a Trump victory. All these people said they were going to leave if Trump won. Alex Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Megan Rapinoe, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer, AOC, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Bill Gates, Jane Fonda, Madonna, Mark Ruffalo, Kim Kardashian, Bruce Springsteen, George Clooney, Hunter Biden, Oprah, Robert De Niro, Samuel Jackson, Miley Cyrus, Travis Kelce, Bobby Altoff, Rashida Tlaib, Stormy Daniels, Dr. Anthony Fauci, George Soros, Diddy, Eminem, Ellen DeGeneres, Sean Penn, Sharon Stone, Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee, Bryan Cranston, and Billy Joe Armstrong. And then as a bonus, Cher said she would this, which I certainly can't say on this channel. Rob Reiner said he would set himself on this. Not sure if I can say that either. And Bono vows to drive his car here. Oh, how crazy is that? And I wonder where, of these 42 people, none of them will leave. We are the greatest country on earth. None of them will leave. All right, let's go ahead and head over to X and see what's going on right now. Wall Street Apes says in California, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Eric Swalwell, Ted Lieu, and Maxine Waters were re-elected. Here's how I know it's rigged. When going to vote, we were not asked for ID. If you offered ID, it was rejected. And I personally watched every single person vote with no ID of any kind whatsoever. You were handed a ballot or walked over to a voting machine. When Trump takes office, it's time to federally investigate California elections and prosecute everyone involved in committing fraud. Yeah, I mean, Adam Schiff beat Steve Garvey. Pelosi, Swalwell, Ted Lieu, and Maxine Waters, who is re-electing these people? I mean, you really got to wonder about that. Anyway, that is what it is. Trump won. The Republicans are going to be a majority in the House of Representatives. They're going to be a majority in the Senate. There are already confirmed 52 seats, and there's still some, like Arizona and Nevada and a couple others that haven't been able to count their totals yet. Dr. Sunil Dan says, wow, look at this for a CNN headline. Is the mainstream media finally realizing how out of touch and irrelevant they've become? CNN says Trump's return to power raises serious questions about the media's credibility. Exactly right. We the people are the media now. CNN and MSNBC and ABC and NBC and CBS and New York Times and Washington Post. Goodbye. Aloha. We the people media are in charge now. We post on X and it travels around the world so fast, the truth does, that the mainstream media no longer has time to propagandize it. Okay, Gabe Pluguez says, you've been lied to. The foods they say are killing you are actually superfoods. Yeah, I'm anxious for RFK Jr. It's too bad it's still 2 months away, right? Almost 3 months away. But I'm anxious for RFK Jr. to get in and start overturning some of these government agencies that are flat out lying to us about nutrition and everything else. It's going to be interesting, and we will be here to hold them accountable and make sure that they do what they said they're going to do. Okay. Yeah. Kanekoi the Great saying, basically saying the legacy media is dead. Citizen journalism is the future. It's exactly right. That is exactly right. We're tired of the lying. We're tired of them lying to get us into wars. It's done. They're done. MSNBC says people in same sex marriages are terrified. Military members are fearing they'll be given illegal orders. Trump won't ever leave office and perhaps end democracy as we know it. This is MSNBC, and they're reporting this as if it's news instead of their propaganda opinion. And remember, anytime you see the word democracy, replace it with bureaucracy. That's what they really mean. So they say Trump won't ever leave office and perhaps end bureaucracy as we know it. So anytime you see something from the leftists about democracy, just go ahead and replace it with the word bureaucracy, and that's what they really mean. Cynical Publius says, listen up, Democrats. You want me to be gracious and magnanimous in victory? You want us to unite? Okay, let me tell you a few things. You spent the last 8 years libeling and slandering me and everyone like me as a Nazi, a racist, a sexist, and a bigot. You censored and spit on the First Amendment, kicking me off of this platform until Elon bought it. You rioted and burned down our cities when you did not get your way. You deliberately destroyed our economy over a case of the flu so you could win an election. You fabricated 15 million votes that vanished into thin air last night. You corrupted our court system and our Constitution in an endless lawfare rage fest to imprison the man we supported for president, as well as his supporters. You tried to kill him because you think he's a dictator. You distorted every branch of government, spit on the Constitution, and did everything you could do to impose your tyranny on all of us through out-of-control executive agencies and illegal executive orders. You sanctioned an invasion of our southern border. You're going to expunge the noxious taint you inflicted on our government and our Constitution with great vengeance and furious anger. We will not harm you unless you are one of the lawfare goons who we will righteously indict, prosecute, convict, and imprison. We will just ignore you and do what is best for you, your pocketbook, and your family, even though you don't realize it. But we will hold you in righteous disdain and disgust. After we have wholly removed your malodorous influence from the body politic, you will be given a chance to apologize for what you did. If you choose to apologize at that time, only then will I be gracious and accept your apology. Am I clear? Now beat it, Fash. Scram. I like that one. I'm going to bookmark that one so I have it for later. And that pretty much sums it up. He covers everything that they did, and now they want us to be united again. Unity is overrated. Fuck them. Breaking: 2,038 suicides have been reported today. If this is linked to the election, Democrats have blood on their hands for years of fear-mongering and fake narrative. Yeah. 2,000 suicides today? Jeez. People take this a little too seriously, I think. And he's right, though. That's all from the media propaganda. They have people so terrified that they're taking their own lives because they believe the lies of all those news outlets that I named earlier. Clandestine says, I know we are all celebrating, and rightfully so, but this is not over. Just like in 2016 with the Russia hoax, the deep state will have contingencies to obstruct Trump from implementing his agenda. It's going to be very difficult, given that Trump has a Senate the House Supreme Court. But they're not just going to roll over and let them prosecute them for their treason. They're going to have to act. Trump is going to be able to rapidly get all his appointments through the Senate, can pass legislation easier with majorities, and will control all the committees and thus the investigations. I don't see how the Dems pull off another Mueller-type situation this time around, but I would not put it past them. I would not be surprised for the FBI to come out in a few days and say they've seen evidence of foreign interference or something along those lines. Yeah, more Russia, Russia, Russia. They will need to create a narrative. They will cook something up. But fortunately for us, the election just proved the majority of Americans have tuned them out. It will be interesting to see which route they take. Expect a response. They won't go down willingly. Yeah, be prepared for anything. It's probably not over yet. Okay, Benny Johnson says, watch the full documentary on X, The Man You Don't Know. Donald Trump has been persecuted, raided, impeached, and miraculously survived 2 assassination attempts. So Benny Johnson has got a documentary about Trump. And Brian at High Impact Flicks says, this is why people like Benny will never leave the cult and could never openly criticize the cult leader. People like this are in too deep. Brian did a real nice live stream last night that I watched, and he did a really good job tabbing between right wing and left wing and, actually doing journalism. And a couple of times he slipped, and I could tell that he was happy that Trump won, even though he would never admit that. All right, Cernovich says, anyone calling for unity or mercy slept through 2016. This was tried. The left went crazy. They learned nothing from the loss and used hoaxes, lawfare, impeachments, and finally election fraud. The guilty must be punished. Exactly. DC Drano says, I agree with Cernovich 100%. No kumbaya. We want justice. They need to fear the consequences of their actions or they'll only grow emboldened. Yeah, that's exactly right. They'll do whatever they want to do. They'll do whatever they want to do because nothing ever happens to them. Hopefully, we're going to see the end of that. Louise says, to Kamala supporters, it was your party that violated people's bodies by coercing experimental vaccines. It was your party that violated people's freedom of speech by censoring their experiences. It was your party that lied to you, saying you just need 2 shots when you're now on shot number 9. It is your party that deceived and engaged in tyranny. Exactly right. But Kamala supporters are blinded by their brainwashing and their programming from the only media they watch is left-wing media. They think everything on X is lies. Okay, Michael Gillette says, I can't get over the generals. The most right-wing, old-timey, conservative Republican people on earth. They all said Trump is a dangerous fascist. Do not vote for him. And these dumbasses simply didn't listen and didn't care, and now we all have to pay. Yeah, we'll be getting rid of those dumbass generals, too. Brian Krasenstein, hardcore leftist, has a fact check for us. I don't call them fact checkers. I call them fact blockers. We never had fact checkers until the truth started coming out. You notice that? All right, let's see. Yeah, here's more pointing out. Where did 15 million Democrat votes go from 2020 to 2024? And Brian Krasenstein's going to have a fact check for us. Let's see what that is. To all the people posting baloney like this, first of all, it's not baloney, it's fact. Please note that the total votes have not all been counted. including nearly half of California and a large portion of Washington, D.C., Oregon, and Colorado. The actual vote tally should be somewhere around 77 for Trump, 75 for Harris. That's not true at all. When did he say this? Because I showed you the map when we started this. Yeah, this was posted about an hour and a half ago. He's lying. He's lying. But that's not surprising. The leftists lie a lot. Former President Obama refused to congratulate President-elect Trump in his remarks about the election, which appears to be out of spite. Why would a former president take an election so personal? Because he didn't get his fourth term. Simple as that. Raw's alerts. According to the White House officials, President Biden will address the nation at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I think that must be p.m. because this was posted 7 minutes ago. I think the Raw Alert News needs to understand what AM and PM is. Colin Allred said, "Thank you, Texas." He got defeated in his race to oust Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz won that Senate seat. We saw Cernovich already. Breaking 911. Mike Pence says, "Karen and I send our sincere..." His wife's name is Karen. That's awesome. "Karen and I send our sincere congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump and his family." Nobody gives a shit what you got to say, Mike Pence. Get lost. Go away and get lost. Okay, Brian again says, "Peaceful transfer of power. Ha ha ha. Some humans will believe anything. Why do you not think there will be a peaceful transfer of power?" I don't know. Who knows? Okay. Meet Amy Chadwick, a professor at Ohio University. She canceled classes today because students are traumatized, angry, scared, sad, hurting, and devastated after Trump's win. Some students are also unsure how to go on. Yeah, well, that's because you lied to them. They've been lied to. Amy Chadwick spreads lies as a university professor. And so all of your snowflake students who believe your lies are now devastated because what you told them was going to happen didn't happen. The Hodge twin says Project 2025 is real. It was a secret we all kept. Quite humorous. In the last 3 months, the word, I don't know if I can use that word on YouTube, has been tweeted 2.6 million times. And Garbage Human says it was tweeted 6 million times at Harry Sisson alone yesterday. Harry Sisson's out of work. You have to get someone else to pay him to post on X now. All right, Wall Street Apes says Chicago, Illinois Mayor Brandon Johnson is confronted about moving homeless Americans out of a hotel they were being housed in to make room for illegal migrants. He talks about how the state is committed to taking care of illegals, and he's proud of that. It says here, Mayor Johnson of Chicago. I think he's worse than that Beetlejuice who was the mayor last time.
The Sun-Times reported that in moving the people from the encampment into the hotel in, I believe it's Streeterville, that people were then moved out of that hotel to make room for them.
That sequence is just off. Here's the simplest way I can put it. There were a number of locations where people accepted housing, number of locations. There are instances where room is made, but in this instance, I don't know how they're coming to that conclusion. The ultimate goal is to make sure that we secure shelter for the unhoused, but I shouldn't say the ultimate goal. That's one goal. The ultimate goal is to build a unified system. I'm grateful that the state of Illinois has expressed and has demonstrated its commitment to this, and our chief home.
Useless babble, complete nonsense. Nobody wants illegal immigrants anywhere anymore. And they might as well start heading back on their own because they're all getting sent back. Trump will shut down the border on day one and start deporting on day two. All right, let's continue on here. Well, here's the leftist hero, Barack Obama, putting out a statement. He's definitely butthurt that he didn't get his fourth term. He's gone now for good. MSNBC is telling their viewers that black and brown U.S. citizens are part of Trump's deportation plans. Trump's not going to deport any U.S. citizens. MSNBC, as always, is lying to their audience. All 10 of them. They're not going to deport any U.S. citizens. They will, however, be deporting lots of illegals, as it should be. The Hodge twins want real Alex Jones to be press secretary. That'd be funny. Ariel says, pay attention to all the people stepping down. They know a Donald Trump administration is going on the offensive, a blitz, so to speak. And many in medical, banking, technology, and government are on the chopping block. Their future is very bleak, while our future is very bright. This is fascinating, David Zweig says. Any hot takes on why Gen X decided the election? So Gen X is 45 to 64, and they went 53% Republican. My generation, boomers, pretty much split down the middle. 30 to 44 was 51 to 46 blue over red. And young people, 18 to 29, were 55 to 42 Democrat over Republican. So, yeah, it looks like the 45 to 64 crowd won the election for Trump. That is interesting. Okay. Let's see what another meltdown here. This feminist says marriage is off the table now that Trump won. And Anthony Cumia says these emotionally disturbed, unintelligent libs believed every bit of anti-Trump propaganda that the mainstream media put out there. Now they're absolutely petrified of him and what they believe he might do. These people aren't afraid of Trump. They're afraid of the monster the media portrayed him as. That's exactly right. That's what I was saying earlier. These people honestly think that Trump's going to, I don't know, get rid of LGBT people, send them out of the country. I don't know. But whatever MSNBC has been telling them, they believe it. And that's the only place they get their news from. And they don't understand what happened because they're in such a bubble that none of this makes sense. And this girl says marriage is off the table now that Trump won. All right, Matt Wallace says Donald Trump now planning to end birthright citizenship in the United States and mandate voter ID. Yeah, I think both of those are a good idea. Okay, Brian, with some more stuff I don't care about. Wall Street apes, proof that big tech hired or tried to manipulate the 2024 election. What is this? All right, let's take a listen to this one, see what this is all about.
You know what the really fucked up part about this is? It's that my social media algorithms had me convinced that Kamala was a shoo-in. TikTok, Instagram, pages that I follow on Instagram, like NPR, BBC, like even the comment section was like, we're gonna do.
See, that's what I mean. That's where these people, they only get one side of the news. She lists NPR and BBC as pages that she follows. And then she wonders why it seems like she got lied to.
Do this, like, this is amazing. I can't wait to have a first, like, woman president. Like, this is amazing. And
not only is that not amazing, you know how close we came to having an absolutely empty-headed, incompetent woman as our first president. I am so relieved that that did not happen.
not only did he fucking slaughter her right from the get with the electoral college votes, but he fucking won the popular vote. And it's really been fucking me up because what kind of world have I been living in, have we been living in, if we were shown this lens of the country and the world and how Kamala Harris was going to save us? And clearly it fucking wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Clearly.
All the swing states, Georgia and Pennsylvania, like, what the fuck? I want fucking out of this matrix, man. You know what the really fucked up?
Yeah. The matrix is a system of control through the use of fear. Everyone wants out of this matrix. But there's a perfect example of a woman that only gets her news from a left-wing source and has no idea that she's in a bubble and has been lied to. And who made it legal for the mainstream media to lie to you? Barack Obama in 2012, 2013. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act made news outlets, made it legal for them to make up news, to lie to you, and to spread propaganda. That was originally a bill passed in 1948 by two senators named Smith and Mundt that made it illegal for news outlets to lie and spread propaganda to the American people through the media. Barack Obama changed that act and made it legal. And that's why these people who only get their news from the leftist bubble have no idea what's really going on out there because they've been lied to. Legally. Yeah, Florida Pureblood says people are going to wake up in droves. Here's some more. People waking up and realizing that they've been lied to. These are the people we should extend our hands to. The TDS clowns have no hope. Yeah, there are people like that girl we just saw that are realizing that what they have been told is all lies. And those are people we should welcome aboard because they won't get fooled anymore. They need to just get on X and get their news from X because that is the pulse of what's going on. And the truth spreads faster than the mainstream media can spin it into a lie. You don't get the truth from left-leaning outlets. X was only for, I don't know, that sentence doesn't make any sense, but it basically was the only place you read news was on X. Exactly right. It's almost like I'm talking about this And then we get a bunch of posts just like that. Is that possible? Little do they know that it wasn't big tech that did anything to them. It's what they denied to believe. Yeah, more of it. Her campaign paid tons of influencers to shill, and it didn't work. No one cares what millionaire celebrities have to say about who you should vote for. Their influence doesn't matter anymore. Is this the same post? Oh, no wonder I'm getting the same one. So I was like, what is going on here? All right. Now we're back on the main page instead of in that post where all the answers are the same. All of you Trump voting retirees know the GOP is coming for your Social Security and Medicare, right? Well, Lauren, no, they're not. You're just another example of only getting your news from left-wing media, and you've been lied to. None of that is going to happen. TDS, which is Trump derangement syndrome, should be officially classified as a mental illness at this point. Here's another one.
Her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, we both kind of nodded. Like we were both just...
Careful, you're going to get a bunch of snot dripping off your nose ring there. Yeah, just another example. She's been lied to by the media. Will she wake up? No, she's gone. The other girl is realizing that she was lied to. And she will probably go forward from here on out looking for different sources of news. RFK Jr. is currently looking for nominees to vet for 4,000 appointments to the Trump administration. Wow. He will gut the NIH, CDC, FDA, and Department of Agriculture. Yeah, and I also see that Senator Thomas Massey, is he a senator or representative? I'm not sure. Anyway, Congressman Thomas Massey is going to be heading the Department of Agriculture. We're going to get a bunch of really good people at the head of these departments, and they are going to clean house, and it's going to be glorious. Ace of Spades says, I don't want to blow the whistle, but I think that maybe some of my fellow Gen Xers are slightly exaggerating how feral their childhoods were. Everyone exaggerates their backstory a little bit, I guess. Okay. Yeah, here's our girl with the nose ring again, the snotty nose ring. Is there any, Mike Lee, isn't he he's a U.S. Senator for Utah, and he says, is there any credible, non-suspicious explanation for Arizona and Nevada taking this long to count votes? No, Senator Lee, there is no credible, non-suspicious explanation for why Arizona and Nevada are taking this long to count votes. Luther Cyrus says, to be fair, if Kamala won, Trump supporters would have done the exact same thing. No, they wouldn't, Luther. No, they wouldn't. I could not disagree more. No, they wouldn't. We don't go on TikTok and cry in front of the camera because we lost. Okay, more leftist meltdowns.
But what the fuck is going on? People in the future are gonna look back at this time and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened?
Your children are going to look back at your video and say the exact same thing. All right, Andrea Lynn giving a little public service announcement there. President Potato Head says, what America saw today was the Kamala Harris I know and deeply admire. She's been a tremendous partner and public servant, full of integrity, courage, and character. She needs to be more full of brains and competence because she is the worst candidate I've ever seen that got this close to becoming president. We can't let that happen ever again. Yeah. That is what you call a total mandate, Elon Musk, because they got Trump won the Electoral College and the popular vote, which is unusual. And he won the popular vote by about 5 or 6 million votes. The Senate and the House, and he will have 4 years of Supreme Court appointees. And no, the Republicans won't make it 15 judges. They'll keep it 9 like it's supposed to be. Another thing the Dems wanted to do was pack the court. Wall Street Ape says he thought there would be insane resistance from the media and globalists, but the results were so overwhelming in favor of Trump that they all just seemed defeated and shocked. They've been neutered. America belongs to Americans again. Yeah, they all live in their little bubble of leftism. And they think they just can't understand. They're just scratching their heads going, what? How is this possible? Get out of your bubble, people. Wendell Pierce says elections have consequences. The Supreme Court will be changed for a generation. I'll never see a moderate court again in my lifetime. Alito and Thomas will step down and Trump will appoint 40-year-old partisans to the bench. Yeah, well, the Supreme Court shouldn't be like that, Wendell. But if you had your way, it would be all left wing. So there's that. Every vote is split right down. The leftist judges vote this way. The rightist judges vote the other way. I mean, it should be according to the Constitution, but that's not how it is. So we win, we get to pick them. Barbara Streisand says there are no words left. Don't forget, you said you were leaving. You said you were moving out of America. Don't forget now. What would you like to see Trump do on his first day in office? Close the border. Okay. Here is one of the most insane people on television. Joy Reid. Let's see what she has to say over on MSNBC, which lies to their viewers daily. And this is why they have no clue what's going on. Let's hear what she has to say.
My generation, Generation X, the people who grew up on WWE and Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump did this. They did this. They are the ones who looked in the face of somebody who said, I want to be a dictator on day one. We did.
Yeah, see, they're still saying that Trump says, I want to be a dictator on day one, which is complete nonsense. Well, this is why you have all those people crying and canceling classes and committing harikari, and because of people like this. Joy Reid, the biggest racist on television, lying to her viewers day after day, hour after hour. And those people believe her. You're the reason, Joy Reid. Kamala concedes and confirms that she will take part in the peaceful transition of power. However, the word of a Democrat is useless. We will see how they behave between now and January, but I have a feeling the deep state have tricks up their sleeve. Yeah, Kamala looking a little worse for wear here this morning. I would imagine there was a little bit of a celebration, so we call it, for her last night. And it kind of shows. Did a little bit of celebrating myself last night. This Florida man says he is deleting his account because he feels unsafe due to Harris losing. Why do people have to announce that there are? It's not an airport. It's not a flight. You don't have to announce what you're doing. If you want to delete your account, just go ahead and delete it. No one cares. And I'll guarantee you. I guarantee you, this is another guy. This looks like my generation, who only gets his news from the left-wing outlets and has been lied to, and actually thinks that what he has been told is the truth. So let's hear what he has to say. I guarantee you, it'll be filled with lies that he was told.
I said that I would be leaving Twitter within the next 24 hours, but I'm leaving. I can't say anymore. There's no more to say. There's nothing else to say. We lost both houses and the White House. And America.
And America. See, he's been lied to and he doesn't even know.
Do you know how many people he's going to pardon now?
How many?
It's just, there's no stopping him.
Good.
There's no stopping him.
Good. That's what we want.
And frankly, I'm afraid to stay here.
There we go. Why would you be afraid to stay there? I know why. Because he's been lied to by the leftist media. This is the result of only getting your news from CNN or MSNBC. This guy's about to cry.
I'm almost 80 years old.
He's almost 80 years old and he still doesn't have a clue how things really work. That's just sad, pal.
I've been fighting since 2017.
Yeah, he's almost crying.
For what?
We've been fighting for the wrong things. You've been lied to. Change the channel. Better yet, throw your TV in the garbage can, quit watching television, and get your news from X, which you are now leaving, of course, because you couldn't get your way, or Citizens Free Press, who we haven't even made it over to yet today. Don't look like we're going to make it over there today. Carpe Donktum says apparently 15 million Democrats that voted in 2020 suddenly and for no particular reason that's decided that stopping literally that word that I probably can't say on YouTube and protecting abortion wasn't really that important. I mean, what other possibility is there, right? Yeah, Carpe Dunkton having some fun there. We all know what the other possibility is, where the 15 million votes came from in 2020. It just proves it. There's no getting around it now. That proves that 2020 was a fluke. Katie Appleseed says the way both Democrats and Trump supporters are acting today is absolutely pathetic. You've both been played for fools and you're letting a fake system dictate your emotional responses. Grow up. Katie Appleseed is one of the accounts that constantly says the system is broken, and I can go with that to a point, but never offers any solutions. And there's a bunch of those accounts. But with the team that Trump's putting together, I think we're going to see dramatic results this time around. All right. This guy says, we're proud of Tim Walz. And Anthony says, this character definitely did not help the Kamala campaign. For all the bullshit they talked about Vance, he proved himself to be a sharp guy, articulate speaker, and had regular guy charm. This Walz, he's one of these. I don't know. I got a warning on a video. They took down a video of mine a whole hour-long video I did on Monday, the day before the election. And YouTube took it down because I said something wrong. I don't know what. They won't tell me what. So that I can learn and not say that anymore. So I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. Even though I've told YouTube that I am a satire channel. Nothing I say is true. Once again, YouTube, nothing I say is true. Get that through your head. I'm a known liar. No one would believe anything I say. My channel is pure satire. Okay, here's another guy pointing out that 15 million Democrats just decided not to show up. I know the last thing the Democrats want to do is become the stolen election conspiracists, but they can't shrug it off. Exactly. Uh-oh, Pocahontas has a message about the election results that I have no interest in hearing at all. Stephen King, he's having a bad day today. There's a sign you can see in many shops that sell beautiful but fragile items. Lovely to look at, delightful to hold, but once you break it, then it's sold. You can say the same about bureaucracy. See how that works? Anytime you see these clown boys saying this word right here, replace it with bureaucracy, and then you'll know what they really mean. Stephen is butthurt that the bureaucracy is on its way out. Okay, let's see what Elon Musk had to say to Tucker Carlson.
I think it made a big difference that President Trump and soon-to-be Vice President Vance went on lengthy podcasts.
Yes.
I think this really makes a difference because, people look at like Joe Rogan's podcast, which is great, and Lex Friedman's and the All In podcast, and to a reasonable-minded, smart person who's not like hardcore one way or the other, they just listen to someone talk for a few hours, and that's how they decide whether you're a good person, whether they like you. And this is why I actually posted on X the nothing would do more damage to Kamala's campaign than going on Joe Rogan because she'd run out of non sequiturs after about 45 minutes.
Yeah, you can't hide in 3 hours.
Yeah, like hour 2 and 3 would be a complete melted puddle of nonsense. So it would just be absolute game over. That's why I shouldn't go on. But on the hand, Trump he's there and there's no talking points. He's just being a normal person. He's just having a conversation and doing 3 hours of Rogan, no problem.
Yeah, exactly right. That's why she didn't go on. She tried to make Joe Rogan come to her where they could have her handlers in charge of everything, and she would only agree to 1 hour. Rogan came out and said this. And Rogan said, no, you come in my studio, we do 3 hours, and we just talk. And that's why Rogan did not endorse Trump until late on Monday night, the day before the election, is because he was giving Harris a chance to come on his show and talk to mainly young men. That's who watches Rogan or listens to Rogan. So she had her chance to go on, turned it down, but there's a reason why, and Elon's right. There's no way she could do it. She can't sit and talk for 3 hours. She'd run out of her one-liners. She'd run out of her everything she's memorized from the teleprompter. She wouldn't be able to have her earrings in where they're telling her what to say. She's too empty-headed and incompetent, and I am just grateful that we don't have to listen to her for the next 4 years. As a matter of fact, she has been sent off to the shadow realm, never to have to hear from her again. after January 20th. She won't be back, folks. She will not be back. All right, we're going to end it right there. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you watching my videos. And we're going to keep this going. We're going to see what's going on in the news from now until Inauguration Day. And after that, we're going to hold them responsible. We're going to hold them accountable and make sure that they do what they said they're going to do. And I think they're gonna. I think with Elon in there and RFK Jr. and all the appointees that are going to head up these agencies, they're going to clean house. Elon is going to slash the government, and it's going to become a tighter, more well-functioning unit. And they got 4 years to get it done. They got 2 years of having control of the House and Senate. Who knows what happens, in the 2026 midterms. But for now, things are looking good. Things are looking bright. I'm excited for the future. And I think you should be too. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.